The Astral Sea is one of the many planes of existence of Dungeons and Dragons. But the Astral Sea itself deals with powers of the mind and other strange and psionic creatures, I believe. I am an idiot. But one of the beings of the Astral Sea is the Astral Dreadnought. And of course, this powerful being has the ability, or should have the ability, to give a small portion of its power to those who seek its help. Hello, welcome back to DIS. I am this idiot, and today I am reviewing the warlock patron of the Astral Dreadnought. Thank you for watching this far ahead. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff that YouTube likes. If not, that's fine. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Alrighty. This will be a longer one. Sorry. Alright, the otherworldly patron of the Astral Dreadnought. Your patron is an astral being of immense power, a creation of the gods themselves, and one of many that safeguards one of the most important secrets in the entire universe, one that, if discovered, puts to risk all of reality. Expanded spell list. The Astral Dreadnought lets you choose from an expanded list of spells that when you learn a warlock spell, the following spells are added to the warlock spell list for you. Astral Dreadnought expanded spells. Spell level spells. For first level spells, you have Shield and Earth Tremor. For second level, you have Enlarge, Reduce, and Magic Weapon. At third level, you have Erupting Earth and Tidal Wave. At fourth level, you have Dimension Door and Evard's Black Tentacles. And finally, at fifth level, you have Far Step and Wall of Force. Planar Safekeeping. At first level, your patron allows you to store a limited amount of items within its interior demiplane, known as a Donjon. You can store up to 500 pounds worth of objects within this demiplane. Items stored within the Donjon can only be accessed by you, and retrieving an item from the Donjon requires an action. If you die, items stored within the Donjon appear in the nearest unoccupied space within 5 feet of you. Psychic Projection. Also at first level, you can use an action to channel a small portion of your patron's overwhelming psychic presence. Each creature within a 5-foot radius of you must make a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC, taking 2d6 psychic damage on a failure or half as much on a success. Astral Jaunt. Beginning at 6th level, you can use your patron's demiplane as a quick doorway into different places within the material plane. As a bonus action, you can enter your patron's donjon and reappear in an unoccupied space within 30 feet of your original location. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier, and you regain all uses once you finish a long rest. Invitation to the Donjon. Starting at 10th level, you can temporarily banish a creature to your patron's demiplane. As an action, you can target one huge or smaller creature that you can see within 30 feet of you. The creature must make a charisma saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failure, the creature is teleported to an unoccupied space on your patron's donjon. At the end of the target's next turn, the target reappears in the space it left, or in the nearest unoccupied space if that space is occupied. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. Dreadnought's Fury. At 14th level, you unleash the fury of your patron. As an action, you can target one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The target must succeed on a charisma saving throw against your spell save DC, or be teleported to the astral plane to the presence of your patron. Roll 2 attacks for the Astral Dreadnought, one with its bite, a plus 16 to hit, plus 10 reach, 5d10 plus 9 piercing damage, and one with its claws, plus 16 to hit, plus 20 reach, and 3d6 plus 9 slashing damage. The target comes back at the end of its next turn to the space it previously occupied or the nearest unoccupied space. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Eldritch Invocations. If an Eldritch Invocations has prerequisites, you must meet them to learn it. You can learn the invocation at the same time you meet its prerequisites. A level prerequisites refers to your U level in this class. Aberrant Servant. Prerequisite. Pact of the Chain. When you cast the spell Find Familiar, your familiar can take the form of a gazer. Volo's Guide to Monster, page 126. Bender of Minds. Prerequisite 7th level. Whenever you move 10 or more feet without spending any of your movement, you can choose to inflict psychic damage equal to your charisma modifier to all creatures in 5-foot radius of the area to which you moved. Eye of the Beholder. Prerequisite 12th level. As an action, you can spend one warlock spell slot to create an area of anti-magic centered in your opened eyes, as in the anti-magic field spell, in a 30-foot cone. At the start of each of your turns, you decide which way the cone faces. The cone doesn't work while your eyes are closed or while you are blinded. In order to maintain the cone, you must concentrate on it as if you were concentrating on a spell. The cone lasts for a number of rounds equal to your charisma modifier, or until you break concentration. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Gaze upon Eons. Prerequisite 7th level. Whenever you force one or more creatures to make an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma saving throw, you can deal psychic damage equal to your charisma modifier to one of those creatures. Library of the Old Gods. Prerequisite Pact of the Tome feature. At the end of a long rest, you can choose one spell of a level that you can cast from a spellbook or spell scroll which you have stored in a demi-plane or an extra-dimensional space which you have direct access to, such as a bag of holding or a portable hole. It is a warlock spell for you, but it doesn't count against a number of warlock spells you know. These benefits last until you take a long rest. Nightmare Predator. Prerequisite 7th level, Pact of the Blade feature. When you have a creature to force a creature to make an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma saving throw, you can make one weapon attack against that creature as a bonus action. It's Nightmare Predator, yeah. Planar Armory. Prerequisite, Pact of the Blade feature. You can summon any armor or weapon you have stored in a demi-plane or extraplanar space, such as a bag of holding or a portable hole, that you have direct access to as a bonus action, and you are proficient with it as long as you wield/wear it. In the case of an armor, you instantly don it upon summon. Will of the Master. Prerequisite Pact of the Chain feature. Whenever you cast a spell or produce an effect that would force multiple creatures to make an intelligence, wisdom, or charisma saving throw, creatures other than you within a 5-foot radius of your familiar must also make the saving throw to avoid being subject to the same effect. You must be within 100 feet of your familiar in order to use this feature. That's it. It's big, I have no idea. Alright. What do I think about this? Story-wise, I think it's really interesting. So weird. I like that you can use an Astral Dreadnought to be your patron. I think that makes sense. Spells, let's see. Shield, Earth Tremor, Magic Weapon, Enlarge Reduce, Erupting Earth. This is a very powerful combat heavy, a little more combat heavy spells, which are cool. Planar Safekeeping, that's nice. It is a little overpowered because you can store up to 500 pounds worth of objects in it. That's a lot for first level. Like a free, almost limitless bag of holding. Psychic Projection is pretty cool. A small area of effect where people make a saving throw or take 2d6 psychic damage. There is no finite resource, so I would say that could be a little bit of an overpower. So you could boot up to your charisma modifier. Astral Jaunt, basically a free Misty Step for up to your charisma modifier, and it refills it once a long rest, which is cool. I don't think that's too overpowered or underpowered at 6th level. Yeah. Invitation to the Donjon. You can banish a creature, so it's just basically for a round, which is nice, and it's huge or smaller, which is cool. So you can just like banish someone for a round, and then you can deal with the like minions, and then you can go let the person come back, and then you kill them. Dreadnought's Fury. 14th level, that looks cool. You basically banish a creature to be right in front of your patron so that they can attack for you, which is really cool. So it does a lot of damage, which is cool. It's kind of reminds me of like Archfiends, like throwing through hell or toss through hell or whatever, where they like make a saving throw where they like take a bunch of psychic damage. This is cool. I would say that the damage types, piercing and slashing, these would be magical, which would make sense. Eldritch Invocations. Aberrant Servant. So you can have a Gazer as a Find Familiar, which is cool. Bender of Minds. So whenever you basically teleport, you can cause people to get hurt by that, which is cool. Eye of the Beholder is nice because it's a similar anti-magic cone that they have. It's a lot smaller and it's shorter range, which is cool. Gaze upon Eons. You can deal damage if someone does a saving throw of one of the like mental statistics, so intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. It has a lot of stuff with the intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, because there's that. There's the Nightmare Predator, where if you force a creature to do that, you can make a weapon attack against them. And Will of the Master, where with your familiar, whenever you cast a spell, the people within 5 feet of your familiar needs to make the saving throw of those 3. Again, Planar Armory is really cool. I would say there might need to be a level prerequisite, because you can summon any. Well, you can summon any, but it says a bonus action, which is nice. Library of the Old Gods. You basically learn a new spell for the day, which is cool, from a spell book or spell scroll. That's really cool. I would say that should also maybe be a level prerequisite for that as well. So what do I think? I think it's cool. Anything that's overpowered, I would say Planar Safekeeping is a little overpowered. Psychic Projection, I think, is just slightly overpowered. I would say maybe not as much for the poundage for the Planar Safekeeping, and Psychic Projection have have a set amount that you have. Maybe it's charisma modifier, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's, I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. Maybe your proficiency bonus? That'll be even lower. Let's see here. So those are two, I think, a little OP, especially at first level. I do enjoy it. I think it's cool. It's very powerful. Yeah, let me know what you think of this one. If there's something that you think should change, I'll put the thing in the description. And next week, I'm doing the Wizard. This one is called Astromancy Magic, which seems to be a ancient, rare, and powerful school of magic. Looks about like warping reality, so teleportation, stuff with cosmic stuff. So like maybe foresight or insight into other things, or like spatial magic, like bringing comets down or whatever. There are new spells for that, which will be interesting. Join me for that next week. That should be interesting. Okay, so this isn't as long as I thought it was. Interesting. So, thank you for watching to the end. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Click the notification bell if you're doing this. If you're watching, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Should I do the grammar? There is some grammar, but it's negligible. So there is where my previous episode is. Was the Sorcerer Winterborn. That was a cool one. And here's where my channel is, if you would want to check that out. That would be interesting. I look forward to talking to you again. I'm thinking of starting to do some kind of YouTube live or some kind of stream thing so we can talk more if you're watching. Alright. This idiot out. Bye-bye.